Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kyle and the Fiero is not doing too hot right now. Now from the front it may look fine, but it starts to get bad when you get towards the back here. Yeah. So over the past couple of days, I've been working a lot on taking off all the body panels on this car. I did the bumpers, the rear clip, the side skirts, the side scoops, everything on the back half of this car I tore off to get ready for our winter project. And I have a lot to do to this thing this winter. So starting off, the engine on this runs great. I'm really happy with it, but I am sick of the 3-speed automatic. I'm also sick of this engine leaking every single fluid it possibly can onto my driveway. If you get down in here and look up in there, this thing leaks just about every single thing it can, and it's done that for a very long time, and I'm just sick of it. I would like to do an engine swap at some point, but for now, I'd really just like to be able to drive my car, park in the driveway, and not have to worry about leaving a puddle every single place I go. And there's a bunch of small things that I need to fix. For one, my hinge for my deck lid broke. There's a few shields that are broken down here, more oil leaks. I have some grounds I need to fix, exhaust leaks, and some stuff like that that just has happened over time that I haven't really gotten around to fix. So I want to take the engine out and I want to clean it all up and I want to make this engine bay look really nice. The outside of the car and everything looks really nice, and I feel like when you open up the deck lid and you see the engine, it's kind of a bummer, and I want to change that. Another thing is this car is pretty rough. Look here, my frame rail is gone. There is absolutely nothing here. No trunk corner. Battery box is a joke. This thing is rough. There's a reason I got this car for $600. If you know anything about Fieros, they always rust out in the back, and luckily for me, there was a rust-free 88 GT at the junkyard. I took both upper frame rails off of that car, and I'm gonna put them onto this one. And I know everybody's already gonna be yelling in the comments saying, why are you doing this? Why did you do so much work to a rotted out car? Well, I was a dumb teenager, and now I have way too much sentimental value to this car, so I am going to fix it. I already told you guys, took off all the panels, and now it is ready to get the engine dropped. If you know anything about these, they are pretty easy to take out. You have 4 cradle bolts, and you have just a bunch of hoses and everything up here that you need to take out. I've dropped a bunch of these engines out, so I know how to do it. I've never had this one out of the car, so my cradle bolts are going to be stuck, I have a feeling. I have a feeling it's going to be a big pain to get those out. So I think I'm just going to start diving into this. I don't really know exactly where to start. I'm probably just going to start disconnecting a bunch of hoses and wiring and stuff like that, and then I'm going to go through and start doing some of the bigger things like draining the coolant and disconnecting the fuel lines and stuff like that. But this should be a pretty simple process. There isn't too much to it, and but yeah, let's hop right into it. All right, little progress update. I'm making good progress. I have just about everything disconnected here. Have all the vacuum lines I need to. The wiring harness is out. Fuel lines disconnected. I got another vacuum line off over here. All of the automatic transmission, cruise control, junk cables are all pulled out and disconnected. The transmission selector cable, all my intake system and the catch can, all that is off. Right now I'm going to go through and I'm going to take off the main wiring harness out from the inside that's connected to the PCM. I'm going to take that out and put it back in the engine bay just so it's out here and out of the way. And then we should be able to start doing some of the coolant tubes and some other stuff like that and really get this thing out. So to take out the computer, it's actually pretty easy. There's 4 10mm nuts on all 4 corners of this thing, and then you pull it out and you have your connections with the wires at the bottom here. It's a little difficult to get into, so I recommend using a wrench, but yeah, let's get this thing off. then there you go. You have your computer. Now to get out the wiring harness. It's pretty easy. There's just this little clip right here that just went flying. So if you pull this guy off and you push this thing on the side, it's loose now, and you just gotta push it through kind of like that, and now you're through the firewall. Progress update number 2. Every single thing is disconnected on the upper side of the engine, and along with the bottom as well. I have all the coolant lines, I have the transmission cooler lines, and everything disconnected. The only thing that I need to do now, which I can't do yet, is I need to take the wheel off, I need to take my rear calipers off, and I need to disconnect my rear air lines. I went ahead and tried to loosen the cradle bolts just to see if they would crack loose, because they've never come out before. I got the nuts on the front cradle bolts on both sides to come out, so that's good. And I haven't even tried the back yet, and I'm really dreading it because I don't want those encapsulated nuts inside to just spin, because I know that they always do, and I've had really bad luck with taking cradle bolts out, especially on really rusty cars like this. I don't think that the encapsulated nut is spinning in there. I think from that video that it was just the bolt moving, but I could barely move it because the breaker bar was like here and it would just hit the tire. So I have a ratchet, and this might just break the ratchet, but I'm gonna give it a try and see if we can get this thing to come out, because that would be very awesome. Oh, there goes the ratchet. Is the ratchet breaking? What the heck was that? Yep, something broke. Look at the adapter. This thing turned like all the way around. Huh. Take 2. Look at that. It's coming out. Well, there is the rear cradle bolt. This thing looks new. This thing is like nice. There's no rust on it. Well, this is kind of tragic. So you can see it back there. This is on the other side. The whole guy's spinning. Just cut an access hole in here. I can see the nut in here. I'm gonna try and put some vice grips on there and see if I can get this thing to stay stationary when I pull it out. I hope so, fingers crossed. We will see. Cool.
Ready?
Yep.
That looks a little better.
Keep going.
Good?
Yep.
Keep going?
It's probably good.
I'm clear.
Well, the entire engine cradle is out, and yeah, it actually went pretty smooth, and I'm pretty happy with how everything went. I got all the cradle bolts to come out in one piece without having to cut them. That's a really rare thing for me to do, because usually I get bad luck and have to cut them all up, and they don't really look like bolts after I'm done. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think this is a good point to stop the video. So the car is completely torn down. I have a few other things to do. I'm gonna pressure wash this whole thing. I'm gonna take out a bunch of lines and stuff that I don't really need. And then we're gonna move on to the engine, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to take this down, I'm gonna replace a whole bunch of gaskets, and I'm gonna pressure wash this and really just get this thing ready to start putting our good parts on. I am really happy with the progress I've made, and we will see what happens next. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope you guys stick around to see what we do next.